Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing another rendition of the classic K-pop YouTube trend known as unpopular opinions, and I'm making this due to a combination of lack of creativity for new ideas, and also out of a desire to say things that aren't important enough to make a full separate video about. It's been about 5 months since my last unpopular opinions video, and I've definitely thought of a lot of new things that I want to say that don't necessarily align with the majority opinions of most K-pop stans. I have a pretty good mixture of tame and spicy opinions, so we have different levels here, and hopefully through this video I can make you all say, wait, what? At least one time. Thank you all so much for watching, I hope you enjoy, and without further ado, let's get into the first opinion. Center and screen time distribution matter way more than line distribution. I can already tell that this is going to be one of the most unpopular opinions in this video. I think K-pop stans put a pretty lopsided amount of importance on line distribution within K-pop groups, using it to determine things such as who owned each era and who deserved better with each comeback. And honestly, I feel like line distribution shouldn't matter as much as it does to a lot of people. While it isn't uncommon for the members who have the most lines to shine the most within a title track, I find that what really determines who stands out the most is who has the most center and screen time within a choreography and a music video respectively. For example, and because I can use any example that I want, in MCND's song Crush, the person who's singing during the chorus isn't the person who's in the center, but because of how people's eyes work, even if they're not singing, your attention goes to the person who's in the middle, and the member who is in the center ends up being more memorable than the member whose voice you heard. Line distribution also doesn't account for things like dance breaks, and even though in the Crush music video, members Minjae and Bighit had the entire dance break all to themselves that lasted like 25 seconds, they had the least amount of audible lines, so they end up looking like the members who were quote-unquote underrated during the comeback. But because of the amount of screen time and center time that they both got, I personally consider these two to be the most memorable within the era as a whole. Dally is not Hyolyn's best song. Not even close. Now, for almost a year now, Hyolyn has been my favorite female solo artist, and for the past, I want to say 2 or 3 months, I would actually go as far to say she's my favorite soloist in general, and I'm not trying to deny that Dally is an absolute 10 out of 10, but she has better songs to me. Dally is undeniably her most popular song, and it's the only one that a lot of people know, but I have more personal bias towards songs such as Bae, CC, and Summer or Summer. I hope that with her increased popularity from Queendom, people check out her other songs, and maybe after she, wins the show, she can release another album. Like, she's kind of just been releasing singles and maybe an EP here or there for the past few years, and I'm a little bit sick of it. I'm hoping for a full album, but we'll see. So the next opinion is Itzy didn't fall off. Now, I don't know how unpopular this is within most average K-pop stans, but I know this is unpopular, at least when it comes to my fellow K-pop YouTubers. I agree with people who say that they liked Itzy's original image when it was a bit more lively, and I understand when you compare songs like Dala Dala to ones like Mafia in the Morning, why people would say that they quote-unquote fell off. However, I don't think this applies at all when you consider their B-sides too. Prior to Mafia in the Morning, Itzy would only have 1 or 2 good B-sides per album in my opinion, but for the Guess Who and Crazy in Love album, I have over half of the songs saved for each. Looking at their music as a whole, I would say that Itzy actually got better as time passed, and while in the earlier years they did give us bops such as Dala Dala, Cherry, and 24 Hours, I could also make an entire different section on how I think Don't Give a What is one of their best B-sides ever, but that's for another day. What I'm trying to say is that with their past 2 comebacks, Itzy have given us a lot more bops than usual, and at least to me, they're kind of in their peak musically right now. I'm hoping that with their future releases, they can keep up their streak of good B-sides, and unlike a lot of people, or maybe just unlike a lot of other K-pop YouTubers, I'm actually really looking forward to what Itzy has for us next. Real Love by Oh My Girl is one of the best comebacks of the year. Looking at what other people have said about Real Love, I've basically only seen the opinion that it's a very underwhelming track, and I agree that it doesn't have as much power compared to songs of theirs such as Non-Stop and Dun Dun Dance, but I kind of appreciate that. March gave us a lot of polarizing comebacks such as Tomboy by G-I-DLE, Maniac by Stray Kids, or Glitch Mode by NCT Dream, and sometimes I just want to listen to a nice, chill, city pop adjacent, laid back song, and that's what Real Love was. I genuinely think that Real Love stood out in a good way, considering it was a chill song released during the same month as a lot of high energy ones, or maybe just extremely experimental ones, and I think it's had a lot of longevity that a lot of other comebacks this year haven't. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm still streaming Real Love, and I think if you didn't like it at first, maybe you should give it another chance, because I think it might grow on you. Not all 4th gen boy groups sound the same. Although heavy EDM is a huge trend among 4th gen boy groups, in my eyes, most people who write off every new boy group are willfully ignorant of the variety of concepts within 4th gen. While there are a plethora of quote-unquote noisy groups that have debuted in the past 5 years, there are also some genuinely unique boy groups such as Tan, Lucy, or WEI who have amazing discographies that most K-pop stans don't even give a chance. I also think there's a big lack of understanding that there is a difference between good EDM and bad EDM from boy groups, and while it does boil down to personal opinion at the end of the day, to me there are examples of well-constructed and clean EDM drops, such as the choruses of Miro by Stray Kids or Ice Age by MCND, and there are also unidentifiable and messy drops that disrupt the flow of the track and fail to stand out, such as the ones in Asura Balbalta by T1419 and Lockdown by EPEX. I understand that a lot of people simply don't enjoy the genre, but I do believe that certain groups deserve more of a chance from K-pop stans, and even EDM haters can find a 4th gen boy group to like if they did a little bit of their own research. No one really cares about idols who leave their groups. Now, this isn't referring to idols who used to be in now disbanded groups. I'm more so focusing on idols who used to be in groups that are still active today but had to leave due to their own personal choices or maybe just because of the company. This is definitely unpopular because for most popular groups that used to have a member that is no longer within the team, if you look back at old content or line distribution videos where they were still there, the comment sections will be filled with things such as OT12 the boys forever or OT10 cherry bullet forever. And I think that a lot of people don't actually really care about these idols at the end of the day. I mean, these OT12 the boys comments have like thousands upon thousands of likes, and if that many people actually cared about Hyunjun, formerly known as Hwal, both of his music videos would have millions upon millions of views, but only one of them even has one. I think what the case is that a lot of people only like idols if they're in the group that they like, and if one of their favorite members or their bias ends up leaving the group and does something else with their career, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be upset for like a week, and then they're either going to change their bias or just drop the group completely. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing because, you know, you like an idol because you found them within a group that you enjoy. So if they're not in that group anymore, it's kind of like they're losing a part of them that made you enjoy them in the first place. I'm just saying that people pretend like they have this undying support for all of these idols who have left their group, but they don't, and it's pretty obvious even if you just do a little bit of basic observation. And I just thought it would be something interesting to point out because I don't think a lot of people have ever thought about that. And my final opinion is that every single K-pop group has at least one good song. Now, this isn't referencing like unknown groups that have like 1, 2, or maybe 3 songs within their entire catalog, but I genuinely think that every single group that, you know, has decent popularity and more than 5 songs has at least one good one. I know that a lot of people are just biased against certain groups, so they like to pretend that they don't have a single piece of good music, but even groups that I personally don't like, I can acknowledge that they have some good music. Even if it's just a random B-side, a Japanese release that got less than 1 million views, or some unknown unreleased song, every single K-pop group has at least one good song. You cannot convince my mind otherwise. Maybe I'm just not picky, but if you listen to every single group's entire discography, which I don't expect you to do, but if you do that, you'll be able to find something that you enjoy. And I don't understand why people like to pretend that there are groups that don't have any good music, because that's just not the case. And that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more from me, consider subscribing and sharing this video to your friends. Oh, also, if you've gotten this far, look at the pinned comment and vote for MCND and the link that I'm going to be posting. Mnet's doing this like road to max thing where if enough fans recommend a certain group, they're going to get more opportunities to do things such as like special stages, and in future rounds they're even going to be able to like show up to KCON and maybe even Mama at the end of the year. So like, look at the pinned comment, vote for, recommend, and support MCND, because you and me, we're in this MCND agenda together. Thank you all again so much for watching. I really do enjoy all of your consistent support, and without further ado, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys.